Mic check, mic check. Oh, we're live.
Oh.
Hi.
So
Stony
there
Chelsea
you
Live.
are. So nice to see you again. You're watching this screen. Brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace, you say? Yeah,
What's
that's
that?
a thing. It's the easiest way to create a beautiful website, blog, or online store for you and your ideas. Squarespace features an elegant interface, beautiful templates, and incredible 24/7 customer support. So you can try Squarespace at squarespace.com, get a 14-day free trial, and if you use the coupon code PORTFOLIO, you get 10% off, but it also lets them know that we're pimping them out good. We're doing it great.
Yeah, thank you so much, Squarespace, for making the show possible. And on for 2016.
Thank you.
So we'll be back next
You
year.
didn't have to do that.
Whew. They don't have to. And you know what else? While we're talking about Squarespace, they wanted to sponsor a podcast.
Yeah, so we're going to have a podcast. I guess now's the time to let the people know.
And
More of us.
we're missing a few pieces like a name and content.
No, we know the
and guests.
content.
We have a pretty good idea. Yeah, well, it's definitely going to require some experimentation. See what works and what doesn't work. So anyway, there's a new podcast that'll be coming in 2016. Maybe we'll even have like a beta test.
What
before
should the
end of
name
year.
be?
I would be interested in hearing people's suggestions. I would also like to hear people's suggestions for segments and content and what they would like to hear in a podcast format. If you're a podcast listener, if you're not, podcasts are like radio shows that you can just listen to on demand. They're
Well, you're
free.
driving.
Yeah, people listen to them while they're working out, or if they have a long drive, or I don't know, while they're working. Looking at you, Siobhan. Speaking of two people helping us out today, Siobhan over in Philly is screening your questions and comments and screening your photos and sending them over to us. So you have a question in the comment field live during the show, and Siobhan can read it out to us. And then Justin over here is making everything work. He has an amazing amount of buttons and screens at his command, and he's doing it all with a cocktail in his hand. That's the man, Justin. We are looking at your pictures live today. I have too many slides. We're looking at food pictures this week.
Two things I love.
And if you want to send us your food picture, go to northrup.photo/submit, and there's a form there. You'll send it in. Siobhan will send it over, and we'll look at it in real time. And we're not here next week. On holidays, basically. Yeah. January 7th, we'll be looking at your best shot from 2015. One picture. It's a good exercise, even if you don't send it in. Find your best picture of
And we're
the
all
entire
doing it.
year.
Me, you, Javon, Hungry. We're all in.
You too, Siobhan. You got to find yourself whatever the best picture was you took. Good news, you still have a couple of weeks. Scramble, take some more pictures. Pressure.
Calendars. What about them?
I forgot the calendars. We have calendars from...
I can run up and...
Stopped.
Siobhan
it
says the
did
stream
just
stopped.
That's a different error.
What the hell?
Well, YouTube says we're streaming that error.
Did we turn off the internet?
I was
It
just
looks like
thinking
it's
that. I'll
back.
just go turn that off. Take it, Chelsea.
Wait,
It's running
back?
again.
Oh, so we guess it's cheaper to just put this over lecture in this porthole instead of actually. What's wrong?
Nothing. Sorry.
Let's just go to the next slide. This is exciting. I kind of get it. Doing stock photography, you learn a photograph of the truth isn't always depicting your concept. So this person took a shortcut and just, dang, did they take a shortcut.
Yeah,
What's this, Tony?
This is... We can all stop light painting. This is the best light painting that could ever possibly be done. It's simply stunning. Justin has a video clip, and I know you haven't seen this yet, so if you play this video clip, Justin, what these people have done is they've programmed a drone with the variable color light on it to fly through the air and do light painting in the sky. It's unbelievable. And I just can't even fathom how complex this is. Are you watching that?
Yeah.
And it gets better. Like, just stick with it. So they do this painting, which is pretty remarkable. But then they start animating it. So they start making like multiple slides. Look at that. That's done with a drone and like a flashlight.
He's throwing presents.
Can you believe that?
I can't believe
You've
it.
done light painting. It's not very easy.
No. This person wins.
Yeah. Anyway, so you
When
and
did
light
they start
painting.
doing this? Like July?
I cannot. I'm absolutely blown away by the amount of effort that they must have put into this. Fantastic work, Ascending Technologies.
I don't either. I don't know, Tony.
All those different frames to make the animation and the precision to compute. Wow. Great job, guys.
So, what is this about?
In other drone news, in the U.S., the FAA, which manages like airplanes and stuff, is requiring every single drone owner, well, drones over a certain size, and I forget the specific size, but most people with a real drone will have to do this, to register their drone and then apply like a number to it, not unlike a real airplane. Registration.
So did you register yours?
No, and this is the worst part. They announced this like 2 weeks ago, and then this week they like brought it up again with the specifics of the law, but they don't yet have the registration process ready. So they're like, in a week, come back and do this. And I wish they would just wait until it was ready for us to do, because it's getting publicity and stuff, but we all have to like make a mental note to do this in 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
So in the next couple of
You could
weeks,
get 5 years
FAA
in
will have a
prison?
website. Yes, you can either, if you don't register it, you can be convicted of either civil or criminal crimes. So registration is $5. You get a number you get to stick on your drone. We all have to do it in the U.S. All drone owners, $5. Just an extra tax, just for getting a number, $5. If you don't do it, civil penalty of up to $27,500.
Okay.
Or a potential criminal penalty, and I'm not sure, maybe it becomes criminal if you intrude in airspace or do something criminal with it, but potentially up to $250,000 fine and 5 years in prison. So let's get those numbers on there.
Toys are getting serious.
Yeah. I think gotta be the coolest camera of the year is on the satellite Discover. Thanks to Al Gore and NASA, they put this satellite out there. Not like a geosynchronous orbit stays in the same spot above the Earth and just kind of hovers over that part of the planet and spins with the Earth. This satellite is spinning around the sun at the same rate as the Earth.
Yeah.
So it remains constantly between, I have a diagram here, constantly between the sun
and the Earth.
and the Earth.
So you never see the Earth in shadow.
Right, you always see, though this illustration, it occurs to me, is completely wrong because look, they show the other part of the sun, the Earth, and anyway.
Well, I think they did that because otherwise it'd just be a black hole.
Yeah. So you get these kinds of images where you can see the full sun rotating and we have a constant picture of whatever daylight part of the sun is.
Yeah.
And it's making some really compelling images. It has a real valid scientific reason, many scientific reasons for being out there. But the images that are coming out of it are incredibly cool, and it's just cool that we have just a camera out there now, because it's like the best tripod in the world, right? You managed to put this thing out in space.
The best tripod in the world.
Just awesome images. Let's take a look at some pictures. We'll come back to some
Everybody
news.
wants to know about that.
They do. We'll get to it. Stick around.
Look at you with the teasers.
Totally pro.
Food.
Wow.
Whoa, this is some old-timey food. Is that a real fish? No.
You don't think it's a real fish?
Any of that stuff real?
Why do you think it's not real?
Why does it look like that?
It seems real to me. I don't know. I don't share your concern.
Okay, it's real. This is beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful lighting, almost like a still life photo.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm giving that one a pick.
I'm giving it a pick.
Right out of the bat.
Oh.
That looks really appetizing.
This looks like Strawberry cheesecake.
Yeah, gorgeous shot, and you caught the texture of it really nice with that kind of hard light. I'll say the hard light and the shadow towards the camera is a
it
little bit
frozen?
distracting. It might be better if you were on the other side of the plate with the sun to your back. I think you took this outside, and that kind of lighting can be rough, but at the same time it can be helpful. I don't know. I'm speculating. I can't imagine what it looked like from the other side, but I'm thinking it might have, but the colors might have been a little bit brighter.
Oh, yeah, because it's in shadow.
Yeah, so just think about that light. Check everything from every angle. Very soft light on this shot. A beautifully done plate.
Yes.
Um,
Is that steak?
we have just a little bit of hard light in there on the sauces
How do
that
you
are
feel
on
about the
top.
crop?
I do feel like it's a little bit unbalanced, and yeah, I see where you're going with this, and I like it.
I'm just going to, let's just experiment. Do we need the whole thing in? The whole, what is that? Some kind of pesto or something? Go square. The light is really good, and the plating is incredible. I think, and I see why you went at a higher angle, because then you get this nice line here. But I think I would have tried a lower angle as well, so that you're not looking down on the food so much. What do you think? Am I being picky?
There's something. I'm just having a hard time putting my
But
finger
it's
on
an
what should be
excellent
different about
shot.
the composition. Yeah, it's a
Don't
great
get
shot.
us wrong, person. It's nice. I want to eat that.
Person.
Look at this crusty bread.
The first thing I notice is that part of the foreground here is out of focus.
I want to warm it up because it makes it actually look physically warm.
It does, and so I
What's
would
this
have just
blue?
chosen a higher f-stop number. You're working like at macro ranges here, so
What are
something much higher, like
What are
f11,
they doing us?
would really help. Or set that focus point to the nearest part of the bread, and that will feel more natural to us. Because the background being blurry isn't the problem; it's the foreground being blurry that throws me off.
I gotta get that blue out of there.
The blue,
Yeah, there was some,
oh,
I don't know, but I like the texture. Dyke.
Wow.
Justin, you okay?
It looks great, doesn't it?
yeah, that looks really appetizing.
I think that,
I think it's great. The first thing I thought is it looks cold to me. And I think there's a few ways to convey that you're cooking it on the stove. You have it on the stove, but if we could see a little bit of steam coming off of it, or if we could get down a little lower and actually see the flame from the burners, that might be a key part of the storytelling. But I like the composition. The lighting on it looks good. The food looks great.
I'm just, don't mind me.
What you working on there, Chelsea?
I don't know. I see how this background, it fades into black. I think I like when food photography is brighter, because like
Right.
the white means clean to me. And here there's like a lot of distracting shadows.
Yeah, you're right. It'd be nice if those whites were completely bright. It almost seems like the food is brighter than the background.
I mean, this is a no-no. Like, this is the worst ever. Don't do this. But you can see that now, like, you're focusing more on the food. If you
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I was trying to put my finger on it, and you're right. The background not being bright white is the problem.
yeah.
So you could handle that with lighting. You could handle, if we just raise the exposure of the whole thing, I think the food would become
Yeah,
that's good. You would just then go back. Oh, it actually looks like there is some steam in there. We just couldn't see it the way it was exposed.
Oh.
So that actually made a big difference. So now you could use an adjustment brush and drop the exposure. You have the temperature up.
You know how I can just double click that.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, Tony. Come on.
I thought that would just, change just your adjustment brush.
Tony, you're so
I
crazy.
screwed everything up for you.
Jeez Louise.
Okay, I think they get the picture.
Yeah. Whatever. We failed you.
That shows the concept pretty well. Nice job. Nice job.
Hey, I don't know what this is, but I think I like it.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either, but yeah, some sort of delicious. I like it. Looks like the
I like the raspberry.
like
just
the
like
raspberry comet or something. Like it just crashed into the earth. Like
I feel like
the
it,
opening
like,
scene of Superman.
slid into home. You know.
Yeah.
I like the context with the hand a little bit. It's nice and bright. The food is nice and bright.
Nice job.
I just want to eat that. Well, you know, this is a mysterious cup of strawberries with these deep shadows in this vignette.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's all about the
It's
mood.
like strawberries on unsolved mysteries.
We could make it more mysterious, go into black and white.
Oh my gosh, this is like what a detective eats for breakfast.
Yeah. Just under a single light bulb. Right.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, it's the background and stuff that we're finding a little bit distracting.
How about that? Crop it
Yeah,
right
I
in.
think cropping the rest of it out definitely helps.
Oh my gosh, this is like the sexiest strawberry.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Not even that high speed. Make sure you get the focus right on the surface, the closest surface of the food.
Where is
Because
it?
we back focused a little bit.
Oh, it's right here. You can see those fine hairs.
Yeah.
But
It didn't bother me.
zoomed out, it
zoomed
looks
out.
pretty good. I would maybe just
You okay with the spot color?
maybe I just chill with the saturation.
I think they went full spot color, Chels.
I can forgive you. I like the duality of this. It's like this soup is sometimes cheery, but sometimes it has bad days. That's a storytelling element of lighting. I'm gonna brighten this up.
Yeah, I think they were deliberate about the shadows, and I think we both felt that it didn't look appetizing because of the shadows. But it was their intention. So it like with the other shot, it seems weird to make food that moody. But I see where they're going
Moody
with it.
foodie.
Moody foodie.
That could be my food blog. Da-da-da.
Well, let's head back and
Wait,
more photos.
I love it.
Okay, we'll take a look at one more photo, then we'll go back to the news.
This is focused here. Right here.
Yeah, it has a plane.
Wait, it's like
Maybe the picture has been turned in post, or must have been turned in post with really shallow
but I
depth
love
of
the
field.
colors.
Yeah, I think it has cool colors and shapes. I would actually brighten it up a little
Yeah.
bit. You were reaching to do the same thing. But I think it's a cool shot. It's bordering on abstract.
Yeah.
I
You
love
wanted to
those
do something
grilled
else? Tony
jalapenos.
Northrup?
Yeah, I wanted to see if Siobhan had any questions or comments for us, and then we can go over some more
Siobhan.
news, maybe look at a portfolio. You
How
got
are
anything,
you?
Siobhan?
Not much,
No.
but I will give you what I've got.
Okay.
Someone asks, how do you make easy logos with Photoshop, and what's the best way of making them?
Well, I happen to know you can make a logo at Squarespace. And if you have a portfolio with them, it's free. You can make them as many as you want, and it's a really fun tool to use. I have a video on it, so if you go into our videos, you can search logo and it will come up. And then in Photoshop, you can also make a logo in Photoshop, but you will probably have to buy some stock. And also, you don't want to use the clip art because everybody has that clip art memorized, so it ends up looking really cheesy. And that would be a whole separate tutorial that I haven't made yet.
But you can do it with the free trial in Squarespace, right?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, so you could sign up for that free trial at squarespace.com/Tony. And then if you like it, you can pay for it, but you don't have to.
And then I think if you don't want to, yeah, for the
Everybody's talking about these
Rumor
pictures that
has
have
it-
sneaked out of the new Nikon D5.
is this for real?
Yeah, I think it's for real. I don't normally cover rumors, but these pictures look totally legit to me. It's just Nikon's top-end camera, which goes for like, the current model, the D4S, goes for like $6,500. It's for basically the sports photographers, some photojournalists. It's built like a tank. It's really heavy. The images are very clean. It's extremely fast with more than 10 frames a second. But it's a low megapixel camera. It's not the right camera for anybody, really, but except for a few high-end sports professionals and such. But it's cool that there are some pictures leaking, and I think we'll probably see an announcement soon. 20 megapixel camera if this screenshot of the back is true. But yeah, I'm tempted to believe those.
Who would do that?
Let's take a look at a
That's
portfolio
pretty rude.
before we go back and look at some more pictures. I wondered that too.
Like,
how
what
did that?
kind of jerk do you have to be?
Because Nikon will send out sample cameras to
Yeah. And you're like,
photographers for
thank
testing.
you. I'm going to ruin it for everyone.
Yeah, and they certainly know whose it is. It looked like even it had an identifying number on the bottom, so it probably wasn't that photographer, but somebody probably grabbed that photographer's camera and took a bunch of pictures. But you probably really screwed that guy. He'll probably.
Oh, he's
He
never
definitely
getting,
signed an NDA.
He's never getting sent something again.
Right, but there could even be fiscal penalties for him. Like he could be fined. By
Not
Nikon.
cool, guys. It's not worth it.
Let's look at Jay Hanlon's portfolio. This is hosted
I'm already
on
scared.
Squarespace. You can send in your portfolio. What topic do you feel like? I want to see dark beauty because that's something we don't see a lot of. That is awesome. That's messed up.
I feel weird.
What is the backstory? This is scary. I like this shot a lot.
The dirty teeth.
Gruesome. Whoa. Wow.
She's like, I love it. Cut my head off.
This is dark, all right. These are some of the darkest shots I've seen.
They're beautiful in
Yeah.
a spooky way. Some of
They
them
are
are
well
making me gag. Let's move on.
Yeah, those are intense. But I'm glad you're asking for providing promotions for a photo shoot, so you're trying to get active work.
Yeah.
And I would take that off. If this is your professional site,
I just
and you're
imagine
trying
a
to sell
bride
work-
being like, I want engagement shots. I want dark beauty. Blood.
Yeah, I do get many people saying, I just want a nice shot of me murdering my fiance, just a knife right in
Yeah.
her. I was inspired by your work. I like that. Anyway, I really like that work. It
I
belongs
do like
somewhere,
it.
but probably on a different website from your portfolio, from your portrait work.
I like that. That girl looks like Liv Tyler.
Yeah, I like that as it's like a alternative kind of cover of a CD.
Yeah,
The lack of eye contact is a little weird, but it's engaging. That's a much more traditional headshot. I like that a lot.
I like that black and white. Same model a few times in the row, just kind of mix that up. That corgi is killing me. That
Yeah.
picture's beautiful. I'd lead with that one.
Yeah, that's
so
a
far,
great
that's your
shot.
strongest.
That's a good shot too. Though, with this format, the
don't see
pictures
the
are so
whole picture.
big. I have to
Yeah.
scroll to see it on this. Even
That's what I was thinking about that picture.
so you might just consider that as you're looking at templates, because Squarespace gives you lots of different templates to choose from. You mentioned trying to provide more of a sense of more variety by not putting pictures of the same model two in a
Yeah.
row. So definitely, work on getting more. I understand when you're in the beginning of your career, and you want to put 12 portraits up, you probably don't have pictures of 12.
Yeah, but you could
different
put up
people.
4 portraits. You don't need 12 portraits.
Yeah, that's true. It'd be better to go for a few.
Well, if I see 4 portraits, I think these are some of their pictures. If I see 12 with the same models, I think these are all of their pictures.
I think that too. Go to sdp.io/portfolio checklist, and there we have an actual checklist that can help you. And I know that's one of the things that's on there.
But their photos are good. I can see why they would want to use them.
Yeah, they're definitely going in the right direction.
Mix them. I like that.
Yeah, similar, not covered in blood. That's a good one. Oh, I see. So a couple with the milk bath going on. So some of the same stuff. Like a lot of these are really similar. The kind of hand on the face. We see it repeated
I
even
like
in
that
black
one.
and white. And
I'd
this is
keep
the
that one and
strongest of
ditch
the
the
set.
other one. That one's cool.
Yeah. And again, these two photos are very similar, and this photo I think works better than this
Yeah.
photo. So we're suggesting some paring down. That's a really nice shot.
You don't need your watermark on your
watermarks, yeah.
portfolio.
Not
I would get rid of that one.
but that's what we recommend.
I would get.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I like. What about this? Should he lead with this one?
Oh no, I wouldn't lead with that one.
Because I liked some of his other shots better.
Yeah, that one's better.
I liked that one.
This one here?
Yeah, I think that's gorgeous.
Yeah, and I think this is something that people would want to pay for. That's a service you'd want to pay for.
And then
And I
the
think
two
this
sheet
one,
ones,
too.
I'd get rid of the two sheet ones. I just don't think they're your strongest work.
$75 for a photo shoot, pretty
Dang,
good deal. Glad
I'd
to see you
hire
have
you.
prices on your site. And he's got a picture of himself, so he's got
Joshua.
basically everything else put together.
He's in Texas, in Austin.
Oh,
He's your people, Tony.
you're my people.
Oh.
Thanks for
Tony.
sending your portfolio in.
Your drink is from Texas.
And had to say about Squarespace. I've used Squarespace for multiple websites. I've written sites from source code.
Dang.
Austin's full of code jockeys. I've written sites from source code and used many drag and drop style website builders in the past. Squarespace is absolutely the best. It's as easy and elegant as you can possibly get, and probably more than you are hoping for. So fuck yeah, use Squarespace.
Dang, you Texans are crazy.
Thank you,
Yeah, nice
Squarespace. If
pictures.
you want your own Squarespace portfolio,
Thank
go to
you, Joshua.
squarespace.com/Tony and use the coupon code portfolio. There are lots of layouts you can choose from.
It's wonderful.
More pictures?
I love the pictures. Oh, I love figs. And that is beautiful. That's like the supermodel of figs.
Yeah, I'm just
I'm
going to
going to give it 5 stars.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that's perfect.
That's
Beautifully
perfect.
done. Gorgeous exposure.
Oh my gosh.
Grip.
This is beautiful. Those colors, those textures, that plating.
It's just like a Southwestern style crepe.
I'm in love. I'm going to give this a pick just because I want to eat that so much.
Yeah, though I don't know that I'm happy with the cropping off
I
the top
thought
of
you
that.
might say that.
Well, I would actually crop less, I think, or crop more. But
I was going to balance it a little bit.
yeah, if you're cropping into your subject, you just want it to look deliberate. You barely clip the top in there, and it felt a little not deliberate.
Oh, look at this. I'm going to bring the exposure up a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing. There you go. A real subtle difference, but just a little bit of brightness
It's so
to
nice
it.
and bright. Let's make sure that there's some whites in there. Yeah, there's some whites.
Yeah.
Little blacks. That's excellent. Good for you. This looks delicious. I love the colors and the textures here. The only thing is the moisture on this wood from the chicken. This here looks messy, so I'd say the plate for me. Maybe you could have just put the chicken along the bowl or put like a white plate or what do you think, Tony?
Only gripe I had with it.
I'm not a chef, so
Maybe a little bit harder light to catch a little bit more of the texture on the pasta. Like firing a flash or something could have helped. But yeah, I agree. The grease
flash
is a little
looks
striking.
ugly on food.
Yeah, some sort of hard light. So
You
not
can
necessarily
get-
flash,
yeah.
but
Like this.
getting maybe it's like octopus or something. Seemed like it had eyes.
Oh, is
Some
this
sort of seafood
ceviche?
palette, I think. Oh, is it?
Is
Oh.
this Peruvian food? Because we have like a ceviche here with some onions.
It is.
How do you know that?
Look at the name of the picture.
Peruvian
yeah.
ceviche? Damn, Charles, you nailed it.
I love the food in Peru.
I just would have moved the silverware in the upper left corner
I'm
out of
going
the way.
to warm it up a little bit.
But you could even do that with a little bit of careful cloning in Photoshop. Sometimes you just end up rearranging things, but as far as capturing like a beautifully made meal at a restaurant, you did a really good job.
Remember they had this really good corn in Peru? It's like
Yeah.
just way better than our corn. Okay. Good for you. I'm very jealous of your cuisine. This is the coffee that same detective drinks after his strawberries. Oh, look, I see. They made a heart with the mug.
Oh,
I think
yeah, that's
that-
nice.
And I like the light here. And the whites are up. This is
Yeah.
just a low-key food pick.
Yeah, I don't mind that so much. It's the grays back here that really bother me. So I think what you were going to do, well, what I would do is raise that up and then maybe recover the highlights a little bit.
Yeah.
I might even do that a little bit more.
Cool. Mixed drink. So it's like on a plate. This is
Yeah, that has
interesting.
I think it's a really beautiful
Yeah,
composition.
I like
I'm
that
giving
a
that one
lot.
pick.
I like it too. Oh, goodness. We have food on the brain. What are you thinking about? Salmon? I'm thinking about fruit or something. Wow.
I don't even know. That is the strangest picture of us anybody has ever sent in.
Yeah. That's,
Congratulations.
yeah, that's an achievement.
Siobhan's laughing at that one too.
I just like how
Really cracked
thoughtful
me.
you both look.
This is exactly what we look like when we're thinking about what to have for dinner. I like how they actually showed the cutaway of our head, like it would be flesh toned in there.
Yeah.
Like, is this more skin? Why is
You
it more
can't see
skin in
the
there?
inside of the skull too.
It's horrifying.
We're like chocolate bunnies, just hollow inside with a plate of food. You guys creep me out. This is a beautiful pound cake.
Yeah, they nailed the exposure here.
They
It
did.
doesn't stop Chelsea from
I don't care.
adjusting it.
This is my life.
But here, the nice hard light. Look at what the light does to the texture of the berries here.
Oh, specular
And
highlights.
exactly. That's so important, and it's okay to let those get a little bit blown out. Gives you that nice texture on the cake. That's a beautiful shot. I'm giving that one a pick too. Really appetizing.
looks so
Lemon
good.
cake.
Is this cheese?
This shot has lots of highlights, but at the same time, it's still underexposed because the subject here is in like the lowest quarter of it. It looks
Yeah,
like
and this glass is blocking my avocados.
the glass should have been moved. That's one of those things. I know it's there, and you're just capturing the scene. So if it's a candid shot, you did a great job.
Just exposing it better so that your subject is exposed. That does look like good cheese. Maybe we just take all this other stuff out of the picture.
Yeah, you're right, because it is all about the cheese, and you want to think about what your subject is.
It's all about that cheese.
Even then, we have this
Thing.
object in the foreground that's
There's
a little
probably
bit
a cooking
distracting.
class. Oh,
Zooming in tight
sushi.
there would have helped.
Justin loves sushi.
But this seems it seems out of focus or something, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Where is it
everything
in
looks
focus?
good about it, except it's just extremely
Where's
unsharp,
the
and I'm not
focus
sure
here?
why that is.
What's their shutter speed?
1/60th. I don't know what it is. It's at a very high ISO, so maybe they cranked up the noise at ISO
Yeah, yeah, you
6400.
can see how
So,
smooth this is.
uh,
But I like the plating and the food.
yeah,
Oh.
food is still life usually, and so you could use a slow shutter speed. You had an image stabilized lens. Shoot at like 1/10 and use a much lower ISO, even 1/5, and just take 20 pictures, and one of them will probably be sharp, and you'll get that lower ISO.
Look how disgusting eggs are up close. It's like a man's skin.
Oh, if you get like eggs that aren't processed through a grocery store, like a friend who has a chicken,
I do. My friend
The-
brings me chicken
there'll
eggs.
be
Bloody?
there'll be little bits of like poop and stuff on the eggs.
I love
because
poop eggs.
birds only have like the one opening,
They do
and everything
everything.
goes through there. So
Yeah. They don't have time for other openings like you, Mr. Fancy Pants. So this is,
I'm just saying, it's an eye opener when you're like, oh, my eggs have poop on them. It's the real stuff, real world.
you're real sheltered.
Yep, until now. It's not like we had chickens.
I think this is beautiful, but I can't stop zooming. It's incredibly sharp. And I like it, but it also scares me. What do you think? Too much negative space up here?
Yeah.
That didn't help. You're moving on. Oh my God.
Definitely a strong sushi shot.
You know who would love this?
Justin?
Matt Granger.
Oh. Justin loves sushi. It's a little something you guys should know about Justin. I feel like now the highlights are a little too bright, so I'd pull those back a little bit.
Sorry, Tony.
I was okay with the overall exposure, but I just wanted not to
So
blow out
there's
the
the
highlights.
focus.
Yeah,
Nice.
I think a little extra depth of field wouldn't have hurt. I'm a little distracted by the chopsticks being blurred out
Probably
too.
giving everyone a headache zooming in like that.
So you
Sorry,
could
guys.
come up to F11 or
But the
F16
presentation's
even.
beautiful, and I think overall it's a nice picture.
Yeah, it is.
Good job, y'all. Oh, I saw somebody posted these. These are apple roses. Aren't they
Gorgeous.
beautiful?
Yeah, and they used a technique I cover in chapter 2 of Stunning Digital Photography, which is when you show patterns to let the patterns flow off the edges of the screen. And it makes you feel like there's just an infinite number of little apple roses.
My one piece of criticism is this little.
I know,
It's like
I'm
focused
so
on us
bothered
too.
by
Look
that.
how sharply focused it is on that.
Yeah,
Wait, I saw they posted another one too. If this is the same person, so I know they have more. But that's just the one little thing I'm not feeling. But
you could clone
beautiful.
it out or move things around so that it didn't appear as prominently in the frame. Gorgeous. I love using peppers in food photography because of
They're
the
so
naturally bright colors.
and-
And yeah, you want to make sure that plate is nice and bright and white. I wouldn't
Look at
even
the
mind
nice colors
bringing the
too.
exposure
This
up a little
fresh
more.
green, and that's important. You get it.
I feel like they deleted the background, don't you? It feels a little bit unstark and unnatural.
No, I
but-
think that's the background. Look at. You can't cut around lettuce like that.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Look at here. This is for real.
And we need a little more directional light in there. A little bit harder light because we're missing the texture from the cheese. Like,
But I do look how they sliced this and then sliced this to match. And then the 3 pieces and the 3 pieces. Like, there's a lot of thought put into this.
yeah, the
I like
styling of
it.
the food is excellent, but if the light were more to the side lighting, we'd see more of the texture
Mm-hmm.
on the cheese. We have front lighting here or top lighting, so it's hiding the texture of the cheese.
Oh my gosh.
Gorgeous presentation. Just look at the histogram, and we can tell it's underexposed.
Let
This
me do it.
whole right quarter is blank. So yeah, just look at your histogram. You get it in camera. If you look at it, it would have told you to use a slower shutter speed, and that would have given you an overall better exposure with less noise. Gorgeous food, absolutely, and you did
It's
a beautiful job on
gilded.
capturing the texture. Even though you're at f7.1, I think I
What is
would have
that?
gone to a higher f-stop number because those berries in the foreground are very prominent and they're falling out of focus. But you made the right choice focusing on the name.
How do I get this?
You get that.
This episode's too distracting for me, especially because it's
I'm
almost 6 o'clock.
legit hungry.
Yeah.
Let's.
No, let's keep going. We're in too deep. All right, let's go. You're right. You're right.
Okay. I just wanted to see. We have a few more bits of news. Somebody posted this, and Sony Alpha Rumors covered it, but I just thought it was super cool to see this melted A7. Nobody knows what happened to it, really, but I think it was probably caught in like a house fire or something. It's just cool, right?
I just don't know about you nerds.
What's nerdy about loving burning stuff? Somebody made this joke in the comments. 4K video overheating. If you think that's nerdy,
I'm laughing for the wrong. What?
I found these tiny little 5
Oh, they're
DSR.
so cute.
I know, aren't they adorable? It's just like a little tiny version of
It's
it. It's a
like-
little USB flash drive.
It's like me and Madeline.
But you can't buy it. They're like out of stock and they might never sell them again. I just thought they were just terribly adorable. You can buy this from Amazon, but it doesn't look like the quality is as nice. It looks really goofy. Like the lens is not to scale, right?
Does that say Cadnon?
Yeah, probably because they probably can't use Canon.
What's this?
This is a 360-degree camera that Nokia is making, and it looks like it has just amazing video quality, not like that little 360 camera we reviewed. But we have a video clip for it. It costs, how much do you think it costs for a good quality 360 camera?
$700.
Justin, care to make a guess?
I was guessing like 1,200, maybe 1,500.
$60,000.
Wow.
Wow, this is some total bullshit happening right now, folks. You are seeing bullshit in the making. And then you strap it on your unreliable drone and just fly it to space. Goodbye, money. We never liked you anyway.
I'm sure it's going to be cool. I'm
It's
just
probably for
excited about
movies
this.
just waste $60,000.
I suspect it'll mostly be
nerd
rented.
rage. Nerd rage. I want to do a segment on our podcast called, what is it called? Like, I don't give a shit or something like that. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm so
who gives a
tired
shit?
of these nerdy debates that they don't matter. Everybody always asks me about them.
Feel like you're slamming my news segment, Chels.
Sorry. It was great. Siobhan, did anyone suggest? No.
No suggestions. Although people are saying that melted camera, the story was that it got dropped in lava.
Yeah, there was a story, but I don't believe it.
How would you retrieve it from the lava?
Yeah, that's
And who
what I
would
was
get
thinking.
that close to lava? That's why I didn't even mention that, because the story was clearly just wrong.
How do you get the lava off? Come on, guys. There's not just a lava remover that you buy from an infomercial.
Yeah, you think you drop your camera in lava and you can just pull it out real quick? Like if you're just fast enough? Lava's like really hot.
It's at least 30 degrees. I'm not a lava scientist.
Like take a look at a rock and just imagine what it takes to melt that rock.
Yeah, it turns a solid rock into a liquid. That's not right.
Sorry, person who read the article. I know they said it. You just were repeating what they said, but people don't validate what
Now
they put
read
in
it.
news
Now
articles.
name our show.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Get to work.
I do have questions.
Okay.
Oh man.
Sorry.
I think I'm hangry from looking at all these pictures. I'm getting really mean.
Do you guys have any ideas on insurance for photography equipment?
We just do it through our business.
Yeah, and usually your
And
home insurance
homeowners,
can just be
yeah.
extended to cover it. So there are companies that specialize in that, and
Yeah.
we haven't investigated them, but I think most people just go to their home or renter's insurance,
Yeah, you
whichever
should
you
just
happen
call your agent for your homeowners and see about that. What else?
AF versus AFS. How big a difference is there in focus speed?
I don't know.
have. AF versus AFS. I guess I don't understand the difference. Like,
Did they mean AFC or something?
yeah, I guess I don't understand the question because AFS is a designation that Nikon cameras use. But honestly, the biggest difference in focus speed is determined by the body. So lens is a little bit of a difference, but body makes a huge difference.
Body.
Sorry, I didn't understand your question better.
Talking
Anything else, Siobhan, before we look at a
bodies.
portfolio?
John Mayfield suggested that your show be called Raise the Shadows with Chelsea and her husband.
I love that man. Wish I could kiss him. Sorry, Tony.
Double insult. Let's look
right,
at Gary
Tony.
Askew's portfolio, Triple T Weddings. This is hosted by our sponsor, Squarespace.
This is when we get a comment when someone's like, Tony looked sad when Chelsea said that. I think their marriage is not going so well. And then their name is like Boner Guy 27. You're like, thanks for the advice.
Last show of the year, people. We're celebrating.
Oh. Are you pointing that out because I named someone Boner Guy 27?
I'm just saying we're having extra fun today.
Yeah,
So
we
to
are.
Say goodbye to the year.
Yeah. We're going to look at your food.
So Gary Askew is specializing in weddings. That's
We
what
looked
I've
at his portfolio
ascertained.
already.
Have we really? Okay. Sorry, I did not remember Gary.
I remember.
How about Blake
Gary, and
Griffith?
I loved your pictures. Now I just want a YouTube account with that name. It's a good one. Too bad
so-
Justin already took it. What? You okay?
Yeah, I'm just pick a layout. They give you a lot of different choices for the layout.
I could see where they were going with it. I like that it's self-paced, but that the pictures aren't running together. I've never seen this before.
Yeah, I haven't seen this layout either.
But I do think, like, I would just stick with a few. I love these first few pictures. And then, boom, leave me wanting more. Let's go up to the categories. Weddings. You're keeping it simple. Oh, yeah, we loved your
Oh.
picture last week.
Oh, we saw this whole portfolio?
No, we just saw this
Oh, just
picture.
that particular. That picture's great.
Just that picture, yep.
Excellent. So this is one wedding, but, you know, it seems like you did one wedding, and if you did, that's okay. Oh, no, you've got another one. Okay, so I would mix them in because a lot of people won't have the attention span to go as far as I did. And you could know this for sure if you use your analytics on your Squarespace page. So just kind of mix them in and think of the pictures that the brides that are hiring you would want. So that ring one is really good, and you can't tell that it's from the same wedding. You have a lot of really excellent pictures.
Yeah, so kind of alternate between the two weddings because you have to work with what you have. And I
How
would
lucky
definitely
that they
remove this
got
photo.
Such beautiful brides for their first weddings.
Yeah, that definitely helps, right, to have good models.
Yeah.
A lot of professional photographers seem to hire models just to get shots.
Yeah.
Because there's just a huge difference when somebody's a good model, and no matter what they look like. Modeling takes some experience.
It takes experience, or some people are just good at it.
So I think it's okay that you have different categories here. I would just make them different top-level menu items rather than having this drop menu. Just have, at the top level, portraits and weddings. Great picture of yourself
Portrait
there.
photographer. I like your short bio. What's your name? What's your name, sir? Oh, it's Blake Griffith. My bee. All right. Sometimes.
This seems like
What?
a good thing we could do. Yeah, okay. This is compelling TV. Take my pictures.
Many exclamation points.
Great.
And then it worked. And then you get to see his email address so I could send him a follow-up or call him.
Nicely done, Blake. So we had some feedback for you. Trim a few pictures, alternate pictures for the maximum diversity, and move that nested menu up to the top level menu.
Yep.
Otherwise, I think it's looking great. Let's see what Blake had to say about Squarespace.
I wonder if he swore like our other friend.
Blake said, Squarespace is great. I'm very happy with how easy and intuitive it is to create my site the way I like it. Adding elements or changing the layout is super simple. Double plus good.
All one word.
That's the highest rating you can give.
Double plus good.
Before it was just plus good, and now it's double plus
Yes.
good. They had to make that new category
He
just for
invented it
Squarespace.
just for Squarespace.
Thanks for sending your portfolio in, Blake. If you want your own awesome Squarespace website, where can they go, Chels?
Squarespace.com/Tony. And if you use the coupon code portfolio, you get 10% off. But it also lets them know that we're doing a good job.
14-day free trial, no credit card required. We love Squarespace for our own portfolios.
You can check ours
It
out.
really is the best thing out there.
I like it. Best thing I've tried.
What
What?
do you want to do next, Chels? Do you want
Oh, let's plug our stuff.
to... Okay.
Guys, do you have monies? Do you have needs? I have a way to spend your monies. We have a Photoshop lookout that can be pre-ordered. We have a photography book called Stunning Digital Photography. And we have a Lightroom book. And we have a buying guide. Are you one of the thousands of people that writes us saying, which lens should $? So, yeah, please support us.
This doesn't actually tell them where to go, but you could go to sdp.io/store and you'll see our store. Or you can go to Amazon if you want to see like outside reviews. There are a lot of reviews.
We have a few t-shirts. We're running low on those, actually. I didn't expect people to...
And is the Stunner bundle here? I actually don't see it.
Yeah, it's right here.
Oh, okay. There's a Stunner bundle. If you already have stunning digital photography and you just want everything else, you can go there. You can even get a signed up bundle.
No, yeah, it's an option.
So go to sdp.io/store to check it out. And thanks for all your support because
That's what's
it's
supposed
really
to
that.
only be for the stunners.
Yeah, but I'm presuming there are some of them who aren't in the Facebook group.
Okay. Chit chat. This is the part of the show where we read your comments and then we talk about you.
This person wrote a whole lot about the cotton carrier.
I don't have time.
No, nobody could read this
Wait,
much.
he gave it a 4.5 for fashion and a 4.5 for functionality.
Yeah, so the cotton carrier is a strap that can carry multiple different cameras. Here we have a picture of it. That's me wearing it.
Yeah, but you also have a lot of other issues going on.
Okay, I'm not
blame
saying
all
I'm the
that.
king of fashion, But do you feel like the cotton carrier deserves a 4.5 stars for fashion?
No. But I will say that sometimes you forego fashion when you need to get the job done.
Yeah, maybe it's super functional. We asked Justin if he would use the cotton carrier because it had what could be useful for a video camera
Oh, I
support.
don't feel right putting down cotton carrier. They've been so nice to us.
They are nice,
What-
but 4.5 stars. I'll just let people judge for themselves. You decide if that warrants 4.5 stars for fashion. And he gave it 4.5 stars for functionality, but he wrote this in his review. He said, "You do need to be a bit careful of the hip strap because sitting down can cause the camera to turn and push itself out." And I used the cotton carrier on 2 occasions, and both times, at some point, the camera fell out of the carrier and crashed to the ground.
That's true. It did scratch one of our lenses.
And that's its first job, is just to keep your camera from smashing into the ground. So it seems like subtracting only half a star for smashing your camera into the ground when you do something normal, like crouching or sitting, maybe not
I feel bad.
enough of a penalty.
This guy says, good video, thank you. Just the suit jacket, though, Tony, sort of put me on edge. I found it very formal considering the video is quite relaxed. And at some point when I wanted to go for a cup of tea, I couldn't because I felt like I might get in trouble if I wasn't back in time. Maybe a polo shirt and jeans next time.
Now I'm
Blazer
wearing
looks awful.
plaid and a tequila t-shirt, so I hope you're at ease, T75.
Clothes really do look different on camera, too. I've noticed that. Oh, that's it.
Let's take a look at some more pictures.
Dang.
I don't know what time it is.
It's
5:54.
yeah.
Oh, all right.
Well, the white balance
I love a
looks
good
a little
breakfast
off.
sandwich. Maybe it's not even a breakfast sandwich. We only eat eggs for breakfast in America.
I don't know. Maybe. What's happening?
I didn't mind it before.
Well, aren't you a sassy lassie? That looks delicious. Nice picture. Our daughter would love this. She loves fondant. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous cake.
Look at that cake.
Do you agree about the all-white background?
All black?
That's what I meant, all black. I was thinking it might look good on an all-white background with just a little bit of...
It would look really
Shadow
nice
there.
and kind of more of a set.
Yeah.
Like more like a kitchen set, something a little bright, something to kind of give you some context for the cake, because here it's just like cake, and you did a great job with the light. You can see the texture, the colors look beautiful, but once you put it in context, it really adds to the picture. So a table, windows in the background, maybe it's on a beautiful serving platter and there's a nice serving thing next to it, but photographically you did a great job. Like
And the side lighting kind of emphasizes the texture of it.
Yeah.
You can even see, because of the way the shadows are, you can see the separation of the two
see the
inner
layers.
cakes. Inner cakes.
It looks great. This is
It's a really creative shot. That's beautiful.
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like that. It's not a shot we've seen before.
Yeah.
It's not a conventional food shot, but I like it
It
a lot.
looks like a
Beautiful.
fancy appetizer. Cherries on ice. Look up here. Gotcha.
Some post-processing artifacts, I guess. I don't know what happened. I've never seen anything quite like
I
that.
think this is called a lobster tail.
Oh,
And it looks delicious.
yeah, looks great. No distractions. Just be careful of whatever. Appreciate the effort.
There. Now we can all sleep at night. Nice.
Want to raise the exposure a little
Hush,
bit,
Midgen.
but it's not too bad. It's pretty close. Yeah,
Nice.
it's close enough. You can fix that kind of thing in post. Looks appetizing, nice simple background.
Dark.
Yeah, I think we like our food pictures to be a little bit bright. I wouldn't mind a little bit higher f-stop here too, because parts of the lime, especially in the foreground, are out of focus, and you really don't want something in the foreground, like part of the subject in the foreground, to be out of focus. It's okay if it fades out in the background, but you're better off focusing on the nearest part of the subject or using a high enough f-stop to get
I like
everything in
that.
focus.
Oh,
Oh, that's festive.
that is festive.
I also feel like it's a little bit dark, but for it.
So
Nicely
cute.
done. I like that picture. I'm giving that one a pick. Nice set you put together
That's it.
for it. Oh, we could do another import.
Siobhan, any more questions?
Well, we got lots of podcast name ideas.
Oh,
Yes,
finally.
Yes.
What's the name of our new podcast, Siobhan? We're going with whatever
Okay,
the first one
let's
you
see.
suggest is.
Raise the
We're just going
shadows.
with
No,
it.
we're not. I can't commit to that.
Northrup's in focus.
Ooh, I like in focus. Good.
Crop this.
Crop this. Nice. Crop this.
Weekly exposure.
Crop that. Weekly exposure. That's good. I knew you
I know
guys
there's
had it
some
in
good
you.
ones. Stopped down with Tony and Chelsea.
Oh,
Stop down. Nice.
Dang.
Overexposed.
Oh, that's sexy.
That is cool. I like the overexposed.
SDP.io/I covered this in my book called Stunning Digital Photography.
That would save me a lot of time.
It really would.
Camera obscura.
Oh, that's a cool one.
That is-
Holy crop.
Oh, I love it. Holy crap. I'm a sucker for
good.
that.
Lots of bad white and black jokes like let's separate the whites and blacks some.
That's probably not going to be a
I
great
don't see
title
that
for our
being great in my
podcast.
career.
Nope. Hamburger the light.
That's really funny.
Bring the noise, which is the opposite of what we want. Snapped with Chelsea and Tony.
It sounds like what will happen if I get the same question over and over again.
Snopped.
Snapped. Or I'll be schnopped.
Stuncast.
Ooh.
Stunning digital podcastrophy.
That sounds like it went
That
wrong.
made me laugh out loud.
That was John Mayfield. Science through the lens of photography
Ooh.
with Chelsea and Tony Northrup. A
Oh,
little
my name
long.
first.
Photo chit chat.
Nice.
Photo focus.
Those were excellent. I knew they had it in them. So proud of you. We'll
Nicely
have to go
done.
through those. I think I want to use one of those.
Which one did you like?
Oh, there's so many that I liked. I can't even remember.
Yeah. I did really like overexposed. I feel like we have to work the word photography in there so people know what it's about, but
Yeah.
maybe there's like a colon or something.
But if we just went generic, like photography podcast, so if someone searched it, we just came up first.
Something you have to consider, unfortunately. What do you want to do? Do you want to talk to Siobhan more or take a look at some more pictures?
Siobhan, do you have anything to talk about?
I have questions.
All right, let's
Okay.
do that.
Let's see. Do you have any thoughts on Wi-Fi cards versus other wireless and wired tethering for shooting in the field? I feel like we've talked about this recently.
I've used iFi with success, and I haven't tested the alternatives. There are alternatives, though.
Is that the card that accidentally posted your picture to Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah, iFi will literally, like, months later, suddenly connect and start uploading stuff if you have it set up to automatically upload.
That was terrifying.
Yeah, it can be really disconcerting. Like, what? How did my picture suddenly get on Twitter? An old picture.
What else, Siobhan?
Do you guys know of any good videography channel similar to TeakLive, or would you consider starting to do videos on video, maybe by Justin or something?
I feel like it's inevitable that we'll move into video because I feel like that will be the just trend in humanity as bandwidth goes up and the way we present pictures is not in print form anymore, but on digital screens that are capable of supporting video. I feel like more and more people will be shooting video. So I think at some point we will transition to video. I do not know. Well, do you know any 4K like video YouTube channels, Justin? What do you watch?
Do you remember the name of those guys that show you how to do like the After Effects, the cool stuff in After Effects?
I mean, that's what I was hoping you could remember. There,
I can't remember either.
what is it? Is it 4K video shooters? What's the blog we read? Sorry, we don't have good answers for
Yeah,
you.
it's something like that. But there's a great YouTube channel called Every Frame a Painting by Tony Zhu, but it's not really like technical, like here's how you use a camera, but it just breaks down. They'll say like, this is why Jackie Chan's action movies are among the best in the genre. And the guy's just like a genius, and they're phenomenally entertaining.
That sounds really good.
I also like Planet 5D, and they're a blog, but they also have YouTube channels. I don't know of anybody doing a live format.
Planet
And I have
5D. Whose blog is that?
we met Hugh
Yeah, Hugh. Okay.
at Sony, and yeah,
Yeah.
I like them a lot.
And there's no film school.
No Film School. That's the one I
that's
was
what you're
thinking of.
talking about.
Well, yeah, there's
that's
another
great.
one with 4K in the name that I can't remember, but I also really like No Film School. So, yeah, we started out as photographers who have been learning videography along the way because they're very different fields. And we're still learning.
People make fun of us because we both say videography. Videography.
You want to say just videography?
That's right?
What do you?
It's videography.
You don't say videography?
No, that's 2 O's. Video.
Yeah, how would you write that?
I usually say cinematography.
You're right.
But we both do it, and it's just because it rolls off the
Videography.
videography.
Okay.
I can't say it, guys. I can't teach it if I can't say it.
One nice thing about being on YouTube is that if you are mispronouncing something, you will learn about it quickly.
It's really a dyslexic's nightmare.
Yeah. It's also tough if you learn stuff by reading, because I learn more by reading books and stuff.
Yeah.
So I will be mispronouncing something in my head, and then I'll bring that to the universe.
That's happened to
and
me.
before somebody mentions something, I've always said it like 12,000 times, so it's cemented in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But I will try to switch over to videography. Feels weird to me.
It
Filmography, filmmaking.
Hurts. Let's just change the word.
Okay.
Siobhan, anything else? Siobhan.
Yeah, sure. If the eye was a lens, what would the specs be?
Oh man.
We were just talking about this, how it would be kind of difficult to measure, but I think the eye is supposed to be 50 millimeters. And then the aperture would depend on the amount of light, because your iris, it gets smaller as there's more light. And then your depth of field would also change like a lens depending on where your subject is and how much light there is. So I couldn't tell you the exact specs without having you in a very specific situation.
I've heard 6 megapixels.
That's it.
No
but-
way.
I need to upgrade these.
But it's not really a fair comparison because the eyes have more resolution in the center, particularly when there's bright light, because your camera just has RGB, just has red, blue, green.
Yeah.
Your eye has red, blue, green, but it also has like cones and rods, so it can detect, it has separate sensors just for just black and white, basically.
Yeah,
and that's
then
why if
the
you go
rods detect form, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
like hue, I guess. If you go outside at night in low light and try to tell the difference between something blue and green, you won't. And I know this all the time. I try to take the trash out, and we have a blue recycling bin, or a green recycling bin, and a blue trash bin. And at night, I cannot tell the difference because you just have separate sensors, and your color sensors just shut down in dark. So the camera doesn't have anything like that. But also, your eyes are kind of like constantly moving. So they might be 6 megapixels, but they're just always piecing together this bigger
Ooh.
picture.
I have a thing. Speaking of podcasts, my favorite podcast, Radio Lab, has an entire episode on color. And I'll tell you all about how your rods and cones work. And it's
The
pretty
mantis
amazing.
shrimp.
Yeah, it tells you about the mantis shrimp, how dogs see color, and dogs' vision, and all different animals' vision. It's so fascinating. You'd love it.
Yeah, I also think it's really interesting that the light goes way above violet, like there's way beyond ultraviolet and way below infrared.
Yeah.
You see just a small portion of the spectrum because that's what was most useful during the evolution of
We have
humans to
3
see.
RGB. We see in RGB, we have 3 color receptors.
Right.
The mantis shrimp, for example, has like 15 or 16 or something like that. So they're seeing infrared and they're seeing all over the spectrum. It's fascinating.
Yeah, and like snakes can see above what we see. It just didn't happen to be that useful to us. I have a whole
Yeah.
book on the evolution of the human eye,
I saw that.
which is fascinating
Oh,
and
damn
not an
fancy.
easy read. But it's interesting stuff. The eye is really fascinating.
Let's
and
look
terribly inefficient. Not a great design.
They evolved underwater.
Once again, it's becoming a common theme, but the
his fancy little
foreground
finger.
being out of focus is upsetting, and we don't necessarily need his hand to be in
I
focus.
think
So
it's cute.
I guess by default, I would always focus on the foreground and then dial up your f-stop as
Yeah.
needed to get the background in
I
focus.
like this picture,
but the
though.
scene itself is great. In fact, I'm going to give it a pick.
Yeah, I like it.
The misfocus
Oh.
is a problem, but I like the overall storytelling.
Yeah. Ooh, so
Beautiful shot with perfect focus. Right.
need to tell what the food is because, like, it's very, I think it's clipped here. Let's see. Like if I were to lower the exposure completely, you can see it's blown out in a few places.
Overexposed it and then brought it down in post. That can happen sometimes.
Yeah.
The color is also a little off. I wouldn't stress about it too much, but I feel like it's a little too something. I'm not sure.
But overall, good picture. Oh my gosh, this is lovely. This reminds me of...
I'm giving that one a pick. I love the storytelling in it. It's more street photography than food photography, but I love the storytelling.
What do you think about cropping it?
I was pondering that too, the various crops. I think this might just tell, maybe just a little bit wider than that, but I like to see the frame of the window. But if this were in the MoMA, I would definitely spend a moment pondering it.
Yeah.
I think it's a great shot.
It is a great shot. I actually liked having that context.
Yeah, and it will be absolutely timeless. It's just a fantastic shot.
It reminds me of, who's the painter? Maybe Justin or Siobhan knows. He's really famous for that scene where it's like a restaurant at night and it's totally empty, and then everyone photoshopped like Marilyn Monroe into it. It's so famous, people always Photoshop. You know who I'm talking about, don't you, Siobhan?
Yeah,
And he always does these beautiful paintings of cities, but they're totally empty, or there's like one person, they're so like sad. They're so lonely, but they're beautiful.
I don't know.
I think
Yes, he does that
Boulevard.
image of the diner.
Yes, the diner.
Boulevard of Broken Dreams is what that painting's called, I believe.
Yeah, but I think that's the rip-off one, right?
Yeah, actually, I think you're right.
Oh, so is there something before that?
Yeah,
Is
because
it-
he didn't paint the celebrities in there.
Oh, Edward Hopper.
Yes, Edward Hopper. I went and saw an exhibit of him. His work is beautiful. Nighthawks, it's called. There you go.
Oh, weird.
I didn't know that Boulevard of Broken Dreams thing was based on something.
Yeah,
I did not know this at all.
it's beautiful. This is
That's
one
a
of-
beautiful painting.
He's one of my favorite painters, even though I don't know his name. I've seen a few of his exhibits, and I'm always really blown away by his work.
He must be super pissed about the Boulevard of Broken Dreams thing, right?
But yeah, because now look, there's like a Star Wars version.
And McDonald.
Very famous.
This
Ooh,
needs more f-stop, just more depth of field. There's too much out of
look at
focus.
that smudge.
In particular, the like raspberry sauce over there, I want to see that in focus and it's clipped a little bit, but it's so brightly colored with so much contrast that that's the focal point and it's out of focus.
But that food looks good. Uh-oh, why is this fruit flying through space and time?
They definitely cut out the background and put it on a different. We always notice photoshopping, but I think anybody that would just bump them a little, even if
I'm
they
going
couldn't
to
pinpoint
do
it.
a video on selecting and working on it today. Recorded yet. These white edges and how to blend everything better into the background. So stay tuned.
That'll help.
I like where you were going with it. Ooh, this looks good. Good colors, nice and bright and appetizing. I like it. It's by Napoleon's cousin. So here, the food is underexposed, but the background is properly exposed, which can be confusing. So what you want to do is expose for your subject. And then something like this, you can just do a gradient on the horizon, and you can bring down the exposure. This is very sloppy.
That's good. No, you could also just move the food into the sun.
Yeah, I mean, if you already took the picture, you do that. If you haven't taken the picture, just be more mindful. But I like this a lot. I'm gonna give that a pick.
Yeah, I went to reach to give that one a pick too. I like that. It probably doesn't qualify, but it's. Yeah, might actually be a little overexposed. I know we almost always raise the exposure. Beautiful lighting on it, nice simple background. I like the way the top of, maybe it's a lamb chop, is protruding above the line of the plate, adding a lot of depth to it.
Yes. My mouth is watering.
Nicely done. I wouldn't even mind a little bit higher f-stop.
What's that green sauce, do you think? Whoa. Pick.
That is cool. I feel like maybe they used like tone mapping to emphasize the texture of it, but I think it makes a really creative picture. Interesting.
Ah.
Again, with the depth of field, we need the foreground part to be
Warm that
sharply
pie
in
up.
focus.
Look, now your other
Just
pie
a higher
looks cold,
f-stop.
like it's been sitting on the counter.
And the black back.
It's flying through space.
Oh, that would be an
Space pie.
amazing spaceship. This
Ooh.
looks fantastic.
Are you okay, Justin?
Justin's being teased by all of me. I am genuine.
Dang.
I didn't mind the original exposure. Great shot.
Yeah, you're right.
This
Piece
is
of
definitely a
squash.
little dark. Just look at the histogram. You can see there's nothing touching the right edge. We want the white plate to be white. Your camera will try to make it gray. One of those times.
With food photography, as you know what color food is supposed to be, and if food is the wrong color in real life, you know something's wrong, right? If you had like a very orange piece of ham, you'd be nervous. So I think it's important to make sure that you have the right color temperature. Which
This is
can
called
be,
pumpkin. I don't know what that is. I guess that's pumpkin.
that's squash. Ooh. Dang.
Roasting some peppers. I love the steam here. It's also a little bit underexposed. We want to see that steam nice and bright. Oh, what you doing there?
I'm just
Making a little warmer?
I'm making it moodier. Is it the fact that it's not level, does that bother you? Or do you think that kind of adds to the because I don't
Yeah, I do feel like the hand helps. I wouldn't mind seeing some of the foreground cropped out, but we need to keep that steam in there. Keep it nice and bright. Beautiful shot.
where's the color? I just want to make the reds a little more red.
Oh, okay. I'm going to give that one a pick.
I like
I've
that
been
one. I
pondering
love
it.
that
I like it a lot.
steam.
I feel like the little bit of foreground there makes it a little less than perfect for me, but I think it's a great shot. Sorry, Miss Kuchar.
Peppercorn. Cool. Steaming
covered it.
dumplings. I got to go back to the peppercorn shot because if they hung in this long and I just said cool, I would feel bad. I like the clean background. Everything is perfectly.
It's a touch overexposed, I think.
Yeah.
in my
Well,
taste.
the salt,
Yeah, because that's important, but you don't even see it. I didn't even know that was salt
Yeah.
until you said that.
but overall, it's nice pick.
This, on the other hand, a little underexposed. Just brighten it up a little bit.
I like the steam. I love steam in food photo shots. Whoa, is that camera okay, guys? That was dropped in lava.
It says it's an A7, but I am having a real hard time seeing an A7 in there.
Yeah, but I would eat that cake and that's actually really good. Have you ever tried to make a cake before?
And this red badge is from a Nikon. Sorry to be like nerdy nitpicky on this. And that lens is not, what focal length is that even?
We don't want to look a gift cake in the mouth,
I know.
but we're getting a
Cool
little...
cake.
Yeah, but this background, so this is messy. So I'd clean up the background and then maybe even put this cake in context, put it in front of its owner or its creator.
Yeah, and I might even want to focus on the Sony. That's where my eye went first.
I want to eat this cake.
Anyway, higher f-stop number definitely would have helped.
This is...
Background is distracting, and I think they used on-camera flash. It does look like something from a horror movie. I'm sure it's delicious. What is
I
that?
would just blur the background because there's a truck there. Let me get that out.
Jessica would hate this, right, Justin? That is anatomical.
So I would maybe zoom in to tell the story, get the meat up close. What kind of meat is this?
I was wondering the same thing. Like, it feels a little like, I don't know. Is it a dog?
No. But there's some ribs. Our daughter would like that. Okay. But I would just, I'd tell more of the story by maybe just focusing on a few details like the fire in this, and then that would get rid of the background, which has like a truck, and maybe that's a part of the story, but nice.
Yeah, I think this is a beautiful shot. I don't know that I can call it food photography, but I think it's just beautiful. I'm going to give it a pick, in fact. I like the colors.
I gotta go back to that meat. I just need to know
We're going
what's
to
happening.
spend some more time on this meat.
I gotta know what's meat.
All right, you're still trying to identify the animal? Can
Yeah.
anybody identify this animal?
There's a leg.
Yeah, I know. I was studying the biology of it.
This is a deer.
Oh, you think it's a deer?
I don't know.
It does look pretty fatty.
That looks like a Barilla
Bristly.
commercial. It looks good.
That's again. We might have actually lost too much texture in the plate. It's
That's
pretty
great.
important with the white plates, but beautiful set. Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. Down a little bit helped. You still had the data in there, so it wasn't
You still have
lost.
the data? I like this shot.
Yeah, this is somehow thoughtful and moody.
I'm just gonna.
It feels more like an art piece than a food piece, but food is the subject, and I like it a lot.
I like it a lot too. I want to go to that cool barbecue with the mystery meat.
You're still thinking about that mystery meat.
Of all the food, I
A
want
lot of people are saying it's sheep or lamb.
Oh.
I just want to try it. Like, if I told someone I ate any other dish from the show, they'd just be like, yeah, anyone would do that. But if I ate the meat on the rack, that's a story.
Animals are funny because they're not that different from each other, but you get used to eating a set of animals that you feel completely comfortable with. And if something's outside of that set, you feel real weird about it.
Traveling, I learned that Americans are so sheltered because all of our food is like, you're just very separated from the fact that it's an animal. They take off the head, they take off the feet. It's just cuts of meat, and then every time we go to another country, there's always like an eyeball. I'm like, we
I know.
try to forget that we kill things for some
The
reason.
first time I got served like a whole fish with its face and its skin and its little fins and
You know what's
everything,
funny
and it's
is-
just staring right at me with that one eye. And I'm like, I guess I'm doing this. I guess I'm just eating you. Sorry, can you just stop looking at me?
You're like, oh, it's whole body, and I'm always like, I know his name. Like I get more excited to just whole fish.
It makes you want to kill it even more.
Yeah.
Huh?
Remember when we ate crabs, and then every crab I saw, I was like, him. I would eat him.
To grow up in Texas and never eat a lobster and then move to New England where they
me too.
take a live lobster, which looks like a warm
Prehistoric
roach,
bug.
and they just drop it screaming into a
No,
pot
you're
of water.
supposed to sever their spinal. You're supposed to kill them first.
Okay, just telling you my experience.
Okay.
It was tough. I powered through it. I managed to eat that water roach, but whew, it's tough to eat those things when
I
you've
can't believe
never
you
been
don't like
exposed to it as a child.
lobster.
I do. I still struggle with it. I get through it. Just saying, it's tough when you haven't been raised with that kind of thing, and then you're like, this monster is food. You're supposed to eat this now. And you're at a wedding and somebody paid a lot for this and everybody's watching you. You better just eat this thing. It's like Fear Factor.
Hope you didn't like that shirt, jerk. Now rip off the legs. This blueberry is nice. It's like a painting of a blueberry, and I'm for it.
Yeah, that's a cool, thoughtful shot.
Look at this shot. The perfect moment.
Yeah, definitely interesting. We want to check that exposure a little bit because you clearly put a lot of effort into it.
I'm gonna give it a pick.
Yeah, cool shot. I'm giving that one a pick too.
Oh, I already did, so.
Yeah, they can't double pick it, but
This is cool, very Instagrammy.
yeah, this is a perfect Instagram picture. That's where your food pictures belong. I
love
like
it.
I like the hands on the side of it
Yeah,
that
like,
made it really
oh,
interesting. This is
ooh.
definitely too purple. Hit that dropper.
Let's
Show
try
them the
it.
easy way to do this. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, it actually worked. It hardly ever works for me, but I still think.
it is a little hit or miss, but it's a good start.
True. I like it. I like it.
This is abstract.
I'm getting hungry. I like it.
Yeah, we're just about through all the pictures.
I-
It's a cat-
Background, I like how you.
Yeah, I like the spoon and the
Yeah.
little sprinkles in the
Yeah, this
background.
is a good-
Nicely done.
Oh,
Oh, give me that one a
Chris.
pick.
We know this man.
I love the abstract composition, like the kind of off-center composition.
Send me that
I
mac
knew I
and
was going to be
cheese.
hungry.
Oh, this person is.
I'll step away.
We're fighting.
You take care of it.
Peppers and olive oil, maybe? Cool. Cool.
Needs more depth of field.
And
Too
just
much out of focus, especially in the foreground
warm
like
it
that.
up a little.
Oh, I feel like
Look
we
at
could
that-
dodge and burn to get those
That wisp.
steam wisps.
Let's
a
just
little
raise
bit
the
brighter.
exposure just to see them.
Yeah, you can see them in there, but that
Ooh.
needs to be prominent. So
They're
a little photoshopping can do
beautiful.
that.
Yeah,
You
if
maybe
you
could
wanted
do it
to
with
take the
Lightroom.
time, you could like do that. And you could just bring out the wisps a little bit with a nice soft brush. I'm so hungry. That one was ugly. Remember that time we went to that Brazilian steakhouse and we ate every meat? Oh, that
Brazilian
potato.
steakhouses are awesome. We need one nearby. It would literally kill Justin
Justin,
at
have
this
you ever
point.
been to one?
No, I have not. I think they sound awesome though.
Siobhan, you?
They-
What?
Have you ever been to a Brazilian steakhouse?
No.
Then we need to take a work trip.
Clearly we need to
We need
find
a
one.
business meeting.
They walk around with huge slabs of meat
On a
from
spit.
table to table, and just a machete, and they just carve off pieces of meat for you, and they just keep rotating. So you just keep getting, like the place we went to had like 16 types of meat, and so you just kept getting different varieties of meat, and it was fantastic.
And then they had like all of the sides were amazing too. But
Yeah.
remember I asked because it was all you can eat and I was like, what's the longest someone ever stayed here? And our waiter told us that someone was there for like 4 hours or something. Pretty good waiter story.
If you're ever in Niagara Falls, look up the Brazilian place. It was awesome.
Okay, this is our last picture and it's a literal potato.
What's a figurative potato?
People call a bad picture a potato.
Oh. It's a good picture.
What's a figure?
It's a potato, but it's not a potato. I might crop it a little bit differently, but I like it the way it is. Looks appetizing, good exposure, good lighting on it. Well, anything that you feel is worth mentioning, Siobhan, before we head out?
She likes steak.
I like turtles.
I do like steak. Chelsea, how has your musical background influenced your art? It is Beethoven's 245th birthday today.
We know.
Happy birthday. I think I spent a lot of time songwriting and I was trained classically and I had to learn all the rules and then break them. Sound familiar? So I've learned that any art isn't just touchy-feely going out there doing whatever. It's about standing on the shoulders of giants. You have to look at what all of the other pros have done. You have to look at what makes art good. You have to try to understand it first. You have to try to replicate it, and then you have to find your own voice and your own style. So I learned that in music, and then I kind of just transferred that knowledge to photography.
I learned that people respect piano players, but not trombone players. Because nobody wants you to break out.
Yeah, because they're afraid you'll get all the chicks.
Yeah, that's true.
Anything else, Siobhan?
Show us the calendars.
Oh my
yeah.
God, I almost
Yeah, I was
forgot.
gonna say that too.
I'm so sorry to
Yeah.
save this for last because I would have liked to. So this one is by Finn.
They both turned out just beautiful. They definitely used different printers, but I'd be interested in finding out what printers you guys used.
Let me show another.
They
Here's
both
great pictures.
They both are completely pro, and I
Love
have
this.
put together calendars before, and it's
Wow.
really a lot of work. You'd be shocked at how hard it is to find
This is Kyle's.
12 pictures and to organize them, especially under the restrictions of like the particular shape of the calendar.
These are so pro. Well,
There was a lot of work put into
Kyle's
both
looks
these
super
guys.
professional, but it says Kyle Wolf, so we knew like, wow, this is his calendar and it's very beautiful. But Finn says the nature of Maine, and we thought, oh, Finn got his picture in this calendar.
Yeah, I was flipping through looking for the picture of Finn's. I'm like, I was so proud of him. Like, oh, he got a picture in a calendar, but he made the whole calendar.
Yeah.
Every picture in both these calendars is absolutely fantastic.
It'll make you feel bad that someone so young and also so sweet can also be so talented.
Yeah, how dare you
are
guys make us
amazing.
feel bad about
Yeah.
ourselves?
Come on, guys.
Yeah, great work from both of you. Nicely done. Beautiful pictures. And I do want to find out where they had those made.
Anything else before we wrap it all up?
Okay.
Oh, someone suggested that we do an episode on a film noir theme. I think that would be really interesting.
Yes.
I like that theme a lot.
That's a good idea. We should take suggestions for more themes. We'll do that in January when we come back from our break. We'll take some of your suggestions, especially after those great ideas for the names. These people have good ideas.
They're creative.
Yeah.
We'll be back January 7th in 3 weeks, and the theme will be your best shot of 2015. So you have time to either pick your best shot or scramble to take your best shot in the next couple of weeks. One picture per person. We'll be looking at them. Thank you to our sponsor, Squarespace, for making all of these shows in 2015 possible. We must have done 50 shows in 2015 because we only missed a couple of weeks.
Dang.
It was a lot of work. We had a great time with you guys. If you want to support Squarespace and us, go to squarespace.com/Tony and use the coupon code portfolio. They make your pictures look awesome.
I also have some news.
Oh, what's your news?
Everybody's moms and friends called and said they wanted our book for Christmas. I've been real busy taking calls. And they said, Chelsea, tell them. And that's not a lie at all. So we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Thanks, Siobhan. Thanks, Justin. Happy 2015. See you next year.
Woo!
That is all.